When you look at these past 7 games for the defense, what are the, in this sort of transition now that you guys are in, what are the biggest areas that you've identified in terms of improvement and what you want to see down the stretch?
It's when Coach Bray was running it, I mean, there's the same things that we're trying to improve every single week doesn't change. You know what I mean? Like he had a good eye for what good football looks like, and we continue to just tighten those things up. But things change with just availability of players too, and so now maybe going a little bit more simple as far as just what we do and cutting menus down. But the job's still the job as far as just. We've got to play better technique. We've got to be put kids in positions to make plays and roll from there. So I don't know if that even answers your question.
Sure, no, I get it. You guys want to keep things consistent.
Yeah, and it's it's kind of a living, growing question. You know what I mean? As far as what is it now? What was it yesterday? What was it? What's it going to be next week? And really trying to identify that, and some things we want to kind of keep a little bit tighter to the vest as far as what we're doing, but other stuff, it's really, when you're talking about just ball, it's bring kids along. I mean, I would say that probably this time more than in the past, it's the coaching job is motivation. It's inspiration. It's trying to get kids kind of just moving forward as well as the staff. You know what I mean? Where you guys watch Game of Thrones and that stuff, and it's not. I'm not implying that any of that stuff's happening, but there's when the head coach is gone, you've got an interim head coach. There are a bunch of people in the building that weren't brought here by him. You know what I mean? And it's not any fault of his, but now it's like keeping the staff together as far as loyalty. Drawn a little bit more as far as what can this person do, what can this person do, but also, I mean, that's it's a living, growing, moving organism. That's just obviously the mood goes kind of, it had been down the last couple of days. We're all trying to push in the same direction, bring it up. But there's so much complexity to the question. What are we doing? There's a lot to fix technique-wise. There's a lot to fix scheme-wise. It's cutting things down schematically so that we can be better at what we do. But also the job really, at least for me, is feeling a little bit more like inspiration and motivation, and just kind of keep plugging forward.
What's new on your work plate as the interim, kind of co-defensive coordinator?
I think Coach Tuiaki wants us to keep things as it had been operating, and so we're all really still in charge of things that we have been doing. Because I'd done it in the past, I really had to kind of flip the switch as far as just looking at the game as a play caller, and we hadn't necessarily even made the decision yet as far as, but we're, it's a collective deal. We're going through it, but it is now I've got to watch games. I'm not in my cubicle just watching the D-line anymore. It's seeing the whole thing. It's buzzing through every single game, which is just what you normally do anyways, but now it's just as a coordinator as far as just what can we do, how can we stop them, how can we get takeaways, how can we keep points off the board, all those kinds of things. Those kinds of things keep me up at night, and they always have in the past. And so, that's when you're talking about just what's on my plate, it's really the same stuff, but I wake up in the middle of the night thinking, okay, what if they do this? How do you defend this? What if this guy's hurt? Which is the stuff that Coach Bray had been doing. And I'd been sleeping sound in my pillow because I just worked, got the D tackles. So, kind of the same, but a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that answers your question.
When you talk about bringing guys along and availability and stuff like that, do you mean more on the injury side in terms of the availability, or are you guys at a point now where there are guys who are deciding, that they're going to maybe sit out the rest of the season after the transfer?
Yeah, that's always it's a tough question just because of the portal world, but really a lot of it comes down to kids and how many games they played in. Are we trying to save their red shirt? Do you want to play another? are you willing to play 5 games and burn a year, or can you redshirt? And so that's I think a legitimate question that every father for their son would like. Okay, well, I mean, this situation, do I want you to play as a father? I probably want you to just save your year, especially if you're not a major contributor. You know what I mean? And then there's other guys that are plugging away and doing their thing and really don't have the option of that. And then you have some that are on the borderline of, can I perhaps get a medical back? And so there's, those kinds of questions are real. And they're legitimate when you're talking about just the kid taking care of what's best for his future, and we as coaches have to be sensitive to that. But also as coaches, we're trying to win, right? Like we're trying to win. Like Coach Tuiaki wants to be able to take over, and we all know how this thing is. There's already a search firm rolling right now. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we can get on a roll, does he have a legitimate chance to get it? Does that keep, as a D-line coach, does it give me a chance to just keep my job? I don't want to uproot my family, but I know what the reality of it is. I think you have to, as a coach, just not project what's on your mind for your family onto the kids, because you have to do what's best for the kid, do what's best for the program, and do the right thing, which I think in this situation, it's the reference back to just kind of like everybody doing what's best for them. It's got to be about the kids, and it's got to be about the program, and then we go from there.
When you have a team like UCLA, they go through a coaching change, and they come out and they look like a better team after their change, and that might lead to the perception that fire a coach is instant, like rocket fuel or motivation. Sounds like what you're saying is it's a lot more complicated than just fire the coach, get a boost.
Absolutely. I think every situation is a little bit different, and I think you can go back farther enough in time and say you probably get more teams that tank than you do teams that take off. You know what I mean? And so, but our plan isn't to do anything but battle and win. I think it's in the DNA of the kids, of the program, of what Coach Bray taught when we were here, and we all believe. And so the plan is to move forward with this game and win this game and continue to plug forward. And I think that kind of thing is for you guys to write about if we can take off. You know what I mean? So.
What do you see out of this Lafayette offense?
They're insistent on running the ball. They've got big old linemen, and they do a really good job with their scheme, just making it a little bit easier for those guys to mount people up, and they do a really good job. I mean, their backs are really patient. Their scheme makes it where their backs can really find soft spots if you've got soft spots up front. And I think that their backs do a really good job, and they've got enough scheme that just kind of puts strain on coverages too, as far as the way they do things. So isolating the guy to the field and bringing your whole formation to the boundary. Like there's a lot of different things that people do to put strain on coverage, but they do enough of both. But there's a belief, and they insist on running the ball. That's like you can see that in the DNA of their program and really their stats and what they try to do.
They have 2 running backs with 2 different distinct styles too, it seems. I'm wondering your thoughts on those guys.
No, I think that their running back room is a good group of players. I think that they run hard, they break tackles, they're fast, and I think that they've done a really good job just highlighting their talents, their specialties, because they're a couple of good players, but they do a good job up front too. I think that their O-line probably, just like every O-line in the country, gets too much blame and not enough credit. Their O-line does a really good job.
You mentioned, are you the play caller this weekend?
I don't know that. We're I don't think it matters. Right now, we're really just trying to stay in the way that we've been putting this thing together. I've called a period yesterday, and Coach Rudd called the periods today, and it's really, I think, as we're starting to just work through it, Coach Tuiaki wants us to both be involved in moving forward. I think it's more about, sometimes it's not, there's not as much magic to calling a game as it is put together the game plan. And so we as a staff, if we feel good about the game plan and we know what we want to call in certain situations, any of the coaches upstairs can call it. And I've got full belief in that. And obviously, just I've got experience. I've called close to 100 games, but it's really just probably not on the forefront of my mind. We just get the kids where they need to be.
You said there are things that, you kind of wake up in the middle of the night thinking answers. Is that something you enjoy about the coaching, or is that just kind of a product of the stress of the moment?
It's part of the thing that I love. Yeah, it's when you're coordinating and you've got to troubleshoot problems, and really the times where you get off as a coach is like, okay, I anticipated this, I planned this, we did this, and it worked. That's like super rewarding as a coach, you know what I mean? But we're just a bunch of old guys on the sideline yelling. It's all about the players. It's always been a players' game, and it's about just having the right guys and them doing it. And so I think that's what Coach Aiken wants to focus on. That's what we'll do.
Earlier on, you mentioned that, it seemed like you mentioned that Coach Aiken wants this job and that you guys want to have that stability. To keep
You would want this job too. I want this job. I think this is a wonderful job. It's an excellent job. It's an awesome job. It's a great opportunity. Who wouldn't want this job? You know what I mean? Now we all understand what the realities are. Like I've said, I'm sure they've already got the search firm kind of out there. But if we can get on a roll, why wouldn't he deserve to have this job, or at least an opportunity to interview? You know what I mean? So.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
So Nikko, obviously, as we talked about with others, like it was an emotional few days. Like, what was your emotional reaction to Coach Bray being fired, and then the days after?
Yeah, my friends woke me up around like 9:30, letting me know like, hey, like we got a team meeting. I'm checking my phone, and I eventually find out that he got fired, and I'm just shocked, like truly shocked, because never would I thought that Coach Bray would have got fired, because ultimately I truly don't believe, he's the reason why we're 0-7. So, yeah, just shocked, and the days after, still trying to process it, and him not being around, and just seeing his parking spot and seeing him not there, it hurts, because he's a contagious energy, and you see him when you walk into the team meeting, and when he's out there on practice, you hear him, and he's not there, so it really does hurt, and yeah.
For you, is it like what a lot of other guys have said, that you feel like that it's on the players, it's on guys that didn't step up and didn't execute the plan?
Yeah, I do feel that way too. I think ultimately we're out there playing football, and regardless of the plan or not, we got to execute. And I said this after the Fresno State game, it's on us as players, offense, defense, special teams. And so, and I have a little bit of, confliction with myself too. What, I could have played better, and, would have Coach Bray have stayed and still be hired here? I don't know. So, yeah, just taking that accountability for myself and as a man.
How do you try to lead a locker room filled with a lot of guys that, right now, given the situation, might be thinking about their future, whether it's here or elsewhere?
Yeah, I was talking about it with one of my teammates just at practice, but staying where your feet are, and don't think about what's next or, the past, where your feet are, and, execute practice, and, take care of schoolwork, and everything else will come, and whether that's individual or as a team, and, the team will finish the way we need to finish, and I truly believe in the guys on the team that they're going to do the right thing and finish the right way, be committed to the team.
You said Coach Bray brought just a contagious energy to practice, games, whatever it was. What's it been like so far practicing without him there?
Yeah, luckily we have Coach Aiken, and he's a great guy. I love him as a coach, and he's similar to Coach Bray with the contagious energy. And it's not that we don't miss Coach Bray, but Coach Aiken has stepped up in a big way, helping us. He's always telling us show our teeth, so smiling, and and Coach Bray talks about being positive, and so that kind of just joins together, and if we stay positive together, we'll be all right.
And then has the confidence level at all changed in the team, fluctuated through all the change going on, or are you guys still very confident that you guys can get more wins this season?
Yeah, I think we're confident we can get more wins this season. There's couple plays that could have changed the course of our season, and I think we still have the confidence to win, and we have the players, and I think the guys believe in that too. I think we just, like we said, like Skyler said, we just finished the right way, and we'll be okay.
Last game, big plays over the top were obviously something that hurt the defense. Looking at that tape, trying to prepare for a good Lafayette offense, like, how do you guys try to limit that in this game? They have the sort of explosive ability that they do.
Yeah, I think it's just the big problem was communication, and I think that's a fixable thing. If we just communicate on the field, the DBs communicate with each other, and they get to the right spots, that's easily taken away. And then on the front seven, we rush the way we need to rush, and we create pressure, which I think we can do. All that would be taken away, and just stopping their run game, we'll be in a well spot.
Given how the season has gone, obviously no wins yet. Like, how hungry are you personally, and how hungry do you feel like the guys are to finally just get over the hump? This one being the one.
Yeah, I think, in my life, I've never been through anything like this, as far as losing as much. And so being a winner, and that's who I am as a person, that's my character, and being competitive, I think everybody else in the locker room feels that way. And so that's why I feel like we're questioning the confidence that we can win. So, just going out there and competing hard, and, it'll take care of itself.
Your Instagram post this week, a lot of football pictures, but Luke Skywalker in there too. You a Star Wars guy, and what's the Luke Skywalker connection?
Yeah, I just started watching Star Wars like a couple months ago. My best friend had put me on, Tyson, and I just really enjoy watching Star Wars now. I kind of want to dress up as Luke for Halloween, and I really enjoy it, and he's a great character, and it's inspirational.
You got a favorite movie so far?
No, not really. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a unique week around this program. What's it kind of been like from your perspective?
It's always tough when you go through, dismissal of a coach. Always tough for the guys to have to think about that as well as school and as well as the opponent. But, our motto and our mindset, right, is to keep rolling. We got 5 games. We got to finish out strong. So.
What was your relationship like with Coach Bray, and how would you describe, your emotions when you found out?
I love Coach Bray. He's a good guy, great guy. He was what you thought, Beaver Nation should be and is. I was devastated to hear the news, but again, I wanted to finish out the season strong. Not only for the guys in the locker room, right, but for him as well.
As a leader, how do you, try to articulate that to guys that, you're still here, you still have these 5 games, and that you want to finish strong for OSU?
You got to show them. You got to show them. I mean, we've done a lot of talking. Like I said, we've done a lot of talking. A lot of talk has been going around, but you got to show them, right? So when you step into the building, step into the meeting room, locker room, training room, whatever it is, or even on the field, you got to show them.
Being a senior at the end of your eligibility, does that simplify this current situation for you, as opposed to maybe a younger player who's got maybe some more eligibility left and yet things are uncertain? For you, this is the final stretch of your college career, no matter what. Does that clear your mind a little?
I mean, no, whether if I was a freshly incoming, 3rd year, 2nd year, whatever it is, my mindset has stayed the same, right? Finish everything, finish strong.
What's been your perspective on, comments about effort on the field from players, or just like a commitment to the team?
It's something that we have to get better at, in my opinion. Like I said, the thing that we talk about is the only opinion that matters are the guys that are in the room. So anybody outside we don't really look to or pay attention to, but when it comes from inside the room, that's when we started. Kind of got to get it together.
With everything that's been going on, are you even more excited than usual just to get on the field Saturday night and play football?
Oh yeah, I'm even more excited to be able to play for the guys that are down there and the coaches that are up there.
What's the challenge of the defense sort of coming together, around obviously the co-defensive coordinators and the communication challenges that come with that?
Same as it is every week, right? To start fast and finish strong, right? Finish everything that we do. Play our brand of football, right? To be dominant, and to be destructive on the defensive side. And the same thing for the offensive side, to fly around and make plays.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.